Hello and welcome to Cheap Joe's Art Stuff. This is Julie and I am here to impart some knowledge to you today via a 2-minute art tip. Many of you have written in with your questions about pouring because everybody's pouring these days and it's super fun. It's really, really cool. So you should definitely look into it, and we have all of the art stuff that you would ever need in order to do some pouring. So got a few little tips to keep in mind when you're doing pouring. One, go ahead and either buy your canvas or hardboard or whatever. You can get them from Cheap Joe's primed. We have those, or I had just the raw kind that I put a couple of coats of gesso on and actually put an initial layer of pearl white on there because I like metallics and stuff like that. So this panel has already been ready. It's the initial layers are dry and stuff like that. Also, you need to keep in mind that your acrylic paint is going to go everywhere. So think about readying your panel inside, for instance, like a paint tray that you would use for roller applications of like an interior latex, or like I've got here, just a Rubbermaid lid that nobody cares about and I can wash it out and it's no big deal. So this actually sits up off the surface, so I don't have to worry about it drying onto, like the paint actually adhering to this lid. So what we're going to do is I actually have a couple little handy tools here. One is I got my liquid medium here and I've actually filled some cups already. And then what I have is these are Masterson paint storage cups. It's like $2 for a whole bag of these little darlings. And these are wonderful because what you can do is I've actually poured some medium in here, and then you can actually take your color. So like this is a golden interference blue that we were messing with earlier that I've gotten some green all over, but you can actually just put a dab in there with the medium, take the lid, snap it on, shake her up, and it mixes really, really easily and well. And then it's also airtight, so you don't have to worry about it drying out if you're busy doing other stuff. So first thing that we're going to do is we have our prepared panel. We're going to pop the lid off of this and we're just going to pour it on and then let it do its thing. See how it's nice and fluid and runny? We can actually like pick up our panel and let it go wherever it wants to go. Let it run off the edges if you like. Totally up to you. And the good part is that with pouring, the good stuff is you don't have to overthink it. Whatever happens, happens. And then you can always paint over it. Let's say that you get something going on that is really interesting to you. You can actually add to it. Mix it around. And you can see these pigments are actually like melding into one another, creating some really, really great organic shapes in there. We can actually like tap it, let them run around. If you need to get them soupier or more transparent, you can always just add a little bit more medium in there. And then pop it shut. You know it's going to stay dry. And then we've got a little bit of interference blue here. Going to do some cool stuff. And just dribble it on there and see what happens. And you can just keep adding up sequential layers. Let it do what it's going to do. Don't be afraid. It's okay. It's art stuff. You're supposed to be having fun. Let it run off the edges. Who cares? But the cool part is that the paint is doing some of the creating for you. So if you haven't thought about it, you should try some pouring. It's a lot of fun. You get some really, really neat effects and they're just beautiful. So have your paint actually do some painting for you. And enjoy.